Well, forget Facebook's like icon. After this ruling, they will need to add a served icon. A judge giving a New York man permission to serve his ex-wife notice via Facebook that he no longer wants to pay child support. A family court magistrate saying that he's allowing him to use the social media site since more traditional methods apparently didn't work. The groundbreaking ruling, the first of its kind in New York and the first in the U.S. that does not involve an attempt to serve someone overseas. Fred Tisi is a former federal prosecutor. Arthur Aidala is a criminal defense attorney and Fox News legal analyst. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So, Arthur, you said that you've had to deal with cases dealing with social media.
Yeah, and the thing is, usually I've dealt with them to find information about people to cross-examine them on the witness stand. Isn't true you've said this, isn't true you've said that. But now it's taking things to another level. And what the judge is saying is, it's right here, the wife is basically hiding from the husband. The husband's trying to tell her, look, our child's 21. I don't have to pay you child support anymore. And she's ducking him. Yeah. But she's very active on social media. So the judge said, look, stop sending her the checks and let her know on social media that she's not getting any more.
So, Fred, what kind of precedent does this set?
Well, you know, I've actually been involved in cases where we have done this kind of stuff, and it's like Arthur said. I mean, she's ducked every other effort. He's tried to serve her by mail, he's tried to serve her in person, and she doesn't go there. And so the judge has just said, I'm going to let you do it by social media, giving a new.
But what I don't think, but Heather, what I don't think this should set a precedent for is that you cannot start a lawsuit by serving someone on social media. The old-fashioned way of saying, here, Heather, you're being sued.
No,
I
disagree.
Because you don't really know who's on the...
If you're going to duck people because you're lying in your basement playing on Facebook, then too bad.
How do we know that Heather is the person on her Facebook account?
That's what I was going to say.
And not John Scott.
Exactly.
Pretending he's Heather.
Answer the door when the process server comes there and says,
well, maybe Heather's at work.
Well, but
someone else could be on the computer. Someone else could have a password.
They could be, and that's the argument that you make. But ultimately, the law doesn't protect people who duck service. So if you duck service, you basically give away some of the due process rights.
Right. The law is right now is if you're not at the door, they have to try 3 times, and the third time they have to nail it to your door, and then they have to put it in the mailbox.
All right, so they'll nail it on your Facebook page and stuff.
You've been served.
You've been served. Status.
Yes.
Served.
Switching gears to a brand new chance at freedom, actually, for the Texas mother of 5. She was sentenced to life in prison after being convicted in the 2006 salt poisoning death of her adopted son. A Texas state appellate court granting Hannah Overton a new trial after she appealed the decision, arguing ineffective counsel and prosecutorial misconduct. Now, the prosecutor in this case has admitted that she was, an alcoholic, and she was also taking diet prescription pills, all kinds of problems. So there were some problems with this case to begin with. Fred, I'll start with you.
There were some problems with this case. And, you know, I mean, I don't do criminal defense work. I leave it to guys like Arthur. And it pains me to say that in this case, this may have been the right decision to give this woman a new trial. I mean, I'm questioning the evidence that I saw against her. The thing about the prosecutor, I mean, that's like a little bit of sauce for the use. But ultimately, the question is, what evidence was there to convict this woman of a very, very serious charge?
Here's what the most telling thing is, Heather. Texas is a very pro-prosecutor state, very pro-prosecution state. The ruling by the judges here was 7-2 that this woman did not receive a fair trial. And then other judges wrote a concurrent opinion of those 7. I think another 3 were like, we don't like this whole prosecution. And then they also faulted the defense because the child is allegedly being poisoned by salts. They never called an expert about how to be poisoned by salt.
I have to wrap it before you guys get into it.
It's a good decision.
All right.
Let her out and let her fight outside from her home.
No, we agree on that one.
All right. John